Hold on to your seats, folks, because I've got a bone-chilling tale to share tonight. This story takes us back to my second year as an undergrad student, a time when we thought we were invincible. But let me tell you, there are things out there that defy explanation, and I learned that the hard way. It was a dark and stormy night. Cliche, I know, but trust me, it sets the mood perfectly. Our school was hosting an annual alumni event, and as one of the organizers, I was tasked with making sure everything ran smoothly. And as you know, organizing can also bring some financial benefits. But this financial benefit brought me the worst nightmare of my life. As the night wore on and the storm raged outside, I couldn't shake the feeling that something wasn't right. There was electricity in the air, a sense of tension that seemed to crackle with every flash of lightning. But I brushed off my unease and focused on the task at hand. Everything seemed to be going smoothly until around midnight, when strange things started happening. Doors slammed shut on their own, maybe because of the storm. I was not sure. Lights flickered, and cold spots seemed to materialize out of thin air. The electricity was cut, and here was the problem. We actually pocketed the money for renting an electricity generator. At first, I thought it was just a prank, a way for my classmates who knew us to pocket the money to liven up the night. But as the incidents grew more frequent and intense, I realized that there was something darker at play, because other buildings near my college had electricity, and the only place where the lights were turned off was our college. And then, things took a turn for the terrifying, when my friend and I decided to explore the room where the main electric switch was, in particular, which had always been rumored to be haunted, as the electrician in our college always says. But we were fearless, or so we thought. As we entered the room, a wave of cold washed over me, sending shivers down my spine. The air was thick with a sense of dread, and I could feel eyes watching us from the shadows. Suddenly, the door slammed shut behind us, trapping us in the room. Panic set in as we realized that we were not alone. Strange noises echoed through the empty halls, and a feeling of malevolence hung in the air like a heavy fog. We were far away from the program venue in the main building. Even if we cried at the top of our voices, no one could hear us. And then, just as I thought things couldn't get any worse, we saw it. A figure standing in the corner of the room, its eyes glowing with an otherworldly light. I could feel my blood run cold as I stared into those empty sockets, unable to tear my gaze away. With a sense of dread, we backed away slowly, but the figure seemed to follow us, its presence growing stronger with each step we took. It was as if it wanted something from us, something dark and sinister that I couldn't even begin to comprehend. In a panic, we fled from the room, the sounds of our footsteps echoing through the empty halls as we raced to escape whatever malevolent force had taken hold of the school. With a sense of horror, we realized that we had stumbled upon the lair of a deranged kidnapper, a man who preyed on unsuspecting victims, foolish enough to wander into his trap, or so we thought. And now, we were his next targets. In a desperate bid for survival, we turned and fled into the stormy night, the wind and rain, whipping at our faces as we raced to escape the clutches of the madman who pursued us. But even as we ran, I could feel his eyes boring into my back, and his laughter echoing in my ears like a taunt from the depths of hell. With every step, the terror grew stronger, until it felt like my heart would burst from my chest. But somehow, by some miracle, we managed to elude our pursuer and escape into the safety of the night. As we stumbled through the darkness, gasping for breath and praying for salvation, realized that we had narrowly escaped a fate worse than death. We had looked into the face of madness and lived to tell the tale, but the memory of that night would haunt us forever, a reminder of the darkness that lurks in the hearts of men. Suddenly the lights turned on and the programs restarted. I wanted to report it to the authorities, but my friend reminded me about us pocketing the money, so we decided not to do it. To this day, I still can't explain what happened that night. Was it a ghost, a demon, or just a kidnapper? Or is a friend pranking us? All I know is that I'll never forget the terror that gripped me in that room. A reminder that there are things in this world that defy explanation, and that some mysteries are best